Take your hands off me! This is my house!
He's trespassing! I live here! Arrest him right now!
The police officer asked me a question while tightening the handcuffs. Sir, why are you trying to break into this house? I didn't answer, because the woman standing behind him was wearing my mother's robe, inside my house, holding my keys, and she was crying. Please don't let him near me again, she whispered, stepping behind the officer like she was scared of me. Again? I had landed in the country less than an hour earlier. I pointed toward the porch. That's my home. She screamed instantly. See, he keeps saying that. Curtains moved across the street. Neighbors watching. The officer guided me toward the cruiser while she stepped back inside and shut the garage door from the inside. Then she waved, smiled, and in that exact moment I understood something chilling. This wasn't confusion. Someone had prepared for me to come back. My name is Ryan Calder. 8 months overseas running cybersecurity infrastructure for a private firm. Long contract, secure pay, zero social life. All I wanted was sleep. Instead, I was sitting in a police car outside my own property while a stranger walked around my kitchen. After checking my ID, the officers removed the cuffs but didn't let me enter. Civil occupancy claim. She told them she had been maintaining an abandoned residence. Abandoned. I pay the property tax yearly in advance. I show the deed. They believed me, but legally couldn't remove her without court confirmation, meaning I was locked out. She wasn't. I asked her name. Melissa Harrow, she said calmly, leaning against my doorframe like she'd lived there for years. Then she closed my door. That night, I stayed at a motel 5 miles away. I logged into my home security account to prove entry history. Except, I no longer had primary control. An authorized user had been added 6 weeks earlier. Approved using identity verification. Someone impersonated a relative. My stomach dropped. Then I remembered something. 3 weeks before I left, a woman had knocked holding a clipboard asking about neighborhood compliance. Same voice. Same posture. She wasn't checking rules. She was scouting access. And after I left, she didn't break in. She slowly became me. Utilities updated. Mail redirected. Maintenance canceled. Paper by paper. She erased my presence until my return looked suspicious. By midnight, I wasn't confused anymore. I was impressed, because this required patience, planning, and confidence I wouldn't fight back. She wasn't squatting. She was attempting legal replacement. But she made one mistake. She called the police too early. The next afternoon, my phone rang. Unknown number. Sir, could you come back to the property? We have a situation. The pause in the officer's voice already told me who involved. When I turned onto my street, 2 patrol cars were parked outside my house again, and she was standing in my driveway, crying on cue, hands covering her face, voice shaking just enough to sound believable. Someone broke in last night, she told them. They destroyed family heirlooms. I tried to protect the home. Protect. She had started using that word a lot. I stepped inside behind the officers. The living room looked like a storm had chosen only sentimental objects as targets. Drawers pulled out and flipped. Picture frames shattered across the floor. Cabinet doors wide open. Across the wall, in huge red letters. Fake owner. One of the officers muttered, "That's extreme," but something was wrong. No das disturbance. No forced entry. No footprints from outside. And the smell? Sharp. Chemical. Fresh. I walked closer to the wall. Paint was still glossy. Not last night. Recent. Very recent. That's when I opened my phone and logged into the secondary security backup, the one installed on a separate hidden network. She never disabled it. The timeline loaded. 6:42 a.m. Front door unlocks. 6:44 a.m. She enters carrying a store bag. 7:12 a.m. She exits. 7:28 a.m. Re-enters. 7:31 a.m. Calls police. I handed the phone to the officer. Your burglar lives here. He watched the footage twice. His posture changed immediately. Authority replaced politeness. Her voice rose behind us. I told you he's manipulating things. But the confidence was cracking. For the first time, she wasn't directing the story. She was reacting to it. That evening, an email arrived from the court. Emergency protective order. Filed against me. Allegation. Harassment and intimidation at her residence. Her residence. The paper legally blocked me from approaching my own property until hearing review. And suddenly everything made sense. She didn't need ownership. She needed uninterrupted occupancy. Time creates legitimacy. Weeks become tenancy. Tenancy becomes removal difficulty. This was never about emotion. It was paperwork warfare, and she was close to winning, until technology refused to lie for her. Every company she contacted kept verification logs. Every call recorded a voice. Every request left a timestamp. Every lie created evidence. She impersonated a relative to cancel security monitoring, transferred utilities into her name, confirmed residency status to service providers. Not clever anymore. Criminal. The case shifted categories overnight. She arrived composed. Professional clothes. Organized folders. Printed photographs of me standing outside the house. She told the judge she feared escalation, that I refused to accept she lived there legally. Then my attorney pressed play. Recording 1. Her voice claiming to be family while terminating monitoring service. Recording 2. Requesting billing ownership transfer. Recording 3. Body cam footage from the vandalism morning. Then the hidden camera video. Silence filled the courtroom. Even she stopped moving. Her eyes lowered. For the first time since this began, she had no next step prepared. The judge reviewed the timeline once more. No deliberation drama. No speeches. Just decisions. Protective order dismissed. Immediate removal authorized. Case referred for criminal investigation. 10 minutes ended months of planning. Outside, the courthouse deputies escorted her past me. She paused only once. Not furious. Not crying. Almost impressed. Almost had it, she said quietly. And I realized she meant every word. She didn't hate me. I was simply the missing person in a plan designed for absence. But she rushed the ending. And rushing exposed the pattern. That evening I unlocked my front door again. The same lock I'd watched close from the back of a police cruiser. It opened without resistance. No voices inside. No stide notimacy. Just still air and the faint echo of an empty house waiting to belong to someone again. I stepped inside and let the door shut behind me. For the first time since returning, everything was quiet. Everything was over. And everything was finally mine.
The story's over. Now let's get real. Imagine standing there on all that land, every inch legally yours. If you were in the owner's shoes, what would you do? Let them stay, sell the homes, or pull some other wild move? Drop your answer in the comments and let's see who's the boldest.